Edmonton area and need junk removed? Is your garage or your basement becoming an eyesore? My name's Connor, and I'd like to introduce you to my company, Jolly Junk, where we believe that success starts with having a clear space. Whether it's household junk, a garage clean out, an office clean out, construction debris, or you need us to demolish an old shed, we've got you covered. Don't let clutter weigh you down. Give us a call today and let us help you reclaim that space in your home. Jolly Junk, we make space for what matters. Contact us today.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Freedom Honey Podcast as we continue our descent into cult-like status. Well, it's been another week. First of all, let's go over the ad. That is not a paid ad. That is my buddy Connor, army buddy of mine. He was one of the guys that got kicked out of the army for not getting the jab. I was gonna get him to kind of work for us, but he decided to save up some cash and kind of start his own business venture. So he's doing junk removal and demolitions. If you're in the Edmonton area and stuff like that and you need to clear out some space, give him a shout. He's a solid dude. He was a great troop, and he didn't deserve what happened to him. And if you can use some time, or I shared the commercial on my X profile just to kind of help a fellow troop out, then it's worth it. So, and with that, we're going to get into the show. But as always, I drink during these, so I'm going to open a fresh PBR. And we're going to get into the stories of this week. Hope everybody had a great week. It was good, except for David Menzies. All right, I want to talk a little bit about the Menzoid. He got arrested during a protest yesterday. I guess it was Friday. Down in Toronto, one of those pro-Palestinian protests. We're going to go over the footage. I kind of cut some stuff. I just kind of wanted to get kind of the meat and potatoes. And before we really get into this, but just watch it for yourself.
They're about to pray. They're about to pray. They're about to pray.
We're praying for No, God says you can pray anywhere you want to start.
Brother. It's okay. We offered you some food if you want to eat.
King's Highway. What is going on now? We just want you to What's the problem? Guys, excuse me. We're trying to put him behind the Hey, that's my guy. That's my guy. Stop. Safety, you have to Let me take care of the
Stay back, guys. Stay back. Hey, stay back. Stop pushing forward.
Everybody back.
Yeah, at this point, poor David's got a target on his head. I mean, he got arrested for, what the heck was it? I think it was causing a disturbance and then charged for some other garbage. I feel like this guy's just getting targeted. And he's a great guy. I met him last year at an event, and he's a big fan of what Pedro and I are doing out here in the swamp of Beaver County. And I do like his work because he's very big on the trans insanity stuff and calling it out for what it is. And it needs to be done. I think people are too complacent and, they'd rather just shut up to, go along to get along. And it's guys like him that are taking these stories that are important because, this world's going nuts, and it's nice to know that, hey, you're not crazy. So, David, keep up the good work. Because we need more journalists like you. We need guys that are not afraid to talk about this kind of stuff. And you went down to a protest just to talk to people. And they wanted to turn the street into a giant church or mosque or whatever the fuck. And yeah. And then you get the bums rush and then throw in cuffs. No, that's not acceptable. This is Canada. This is our country. This is not the third world. But anyway. All right. Other cultural enlightenment that happened. I guess this happened today. So it's just Saturday. This is from Mocha Bazirgan. Honestly, Mocha's a solid reporter. If you guys are not following him on X or any other socials, look him up. I love his work. He was, when it comes to the Coot stuff, he was the man. He was there at every trial date. Him and Jason Levine. We're just covering this tooth and nail. You're doing really, really good work. So in Calgary, Kalistani protesters used daggers, swords, spears to rip apart Indian flags in the middle of the city. The Palestinian movement is notorious for Canada's deadliest terror attack. I mean, we all knew about the plane attack. And it's actively targeting Indian diplomats whenever they show up in Canada. The group is largely composed of the same protesters who clashed with police in Edmonton last week. However, unlike in Edmonton, this time supporters in India showed up to counter-protest. We'll go over the footage. It's kind of long, but you got to kind of see it. I mean, it's pretty crazy. You guys are like whipping out spears and shit. I mean, if it was any other ethnic group, I mean, come on, they'd be violently detained. But for some reason, we let this garbage continue on. These demonstrations, which are, well, you'll see.
No cross border, no cross.
I don't agree with this protest in the sense that they are standing on a country's flag, which is absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. Not acceptable. There is a right to protest, but not in this manner. I don't agree with it.
Yeah, needless to say, next level. I know, like, they're allowed to walk around with their ceremonial daggers and stuff like that, but I mean, you driving around with spears hanging out of your sunroof, or you're sitting there like brandishing swords and stuff like that. I mean, that's unacceptable. On top of that, I mean, why do they get to do it? I mean, I'm Spanish descent, granted, 11 generations ago. I should be able to walk around with a rapier or something like that, some Hernan Cortez shit. But no, it's rules for thee and not for us. Anyway, and that's how it goes. All right, let's get into some more crazy insanity this week. All right, so this is from Timothy Caulfield, one of the liberal page shills. Canada is heading towards major measles outbreak without vaccine boost. Sorry, new modeling suggests. I'm like, wrong. We're going to look at Zero Hedge. A giant measles outbreak reported in U.S. as migrant shelters become infectious disease breeding grounds. Well, you think that maybe the measles outbreak in Canada isn't from anti-vaxxer parents, but from people bringing it in? But no, we'll believe the anti-vaxxer myth. They can go with that. Ridiculous. On the cultural enrichment front, the military is ditching aptitude tests for some applicants, will start accepting recruits with medical conditions as well. This was from the CBC. Now, the medical condition stuff, that the person that they were using to as an example had a peanut allergy. I mean, yeah, they're going to use the most simplistic one here. I mean, watch, they're going to let people in with diabetes and with a whole bunch of other medical stuff, and and then just to boost the numbers. And these people will not be deployable. I mean, we kicked out people for having diabetes, for developing it at later stages when they hit, their mid 40s and stuff like that. Oh, you're undeployable, but they're perfectly fine letting trannies in that are filled with cross-sex hormones, and because that's not a mental instability issue. But hey, this is my show and I can say what I want. But regarding this, the aptitude test stuff, so they're still going to do the aptitude test. They're just going to do it at a later date, and it's not going to count. It's only going to be used for data. So the smart person would ask themselves, why is this? Now, I can understand them not needing it if you're going into like officer for being like a nurse and you have, you have a medical degree, or if you're going in for a doctor, high position like that, or if you have a pretty decent university or college background. I can understand that. But that's not the reason they're doing this. Now that they're letting in, I'm sorry, not landed immigrants, but permanent residents, and they're going to let them in. The big thing that people don't realize is the aptitude test, as much as it's used for math and pattern recognition and language, reading comprehension is the number one thing. And a lot of these, permanent residents probably don't have very high IQs. They're going to come here, probably go one of those like shady colleges that are like in malls in Toronto, get some college diploma that means absolutely nothing. Go and join the army because I can get a $60,000 a year job starting with all the benefits I want and pension, and just go and do that. And now they're lowering the bar. They say they're not lowering the bar, but they're lowering the bar. And I mean, it only takes like 700 and something days to become a permanent resident that they got to spend in the country, and a lot of them come here if you got student permits. Come here, do your student permit, get the extension, work for a bit, and next thing you know, boom, permanent resident, boom, government job, good to go. Lower standards. The thing too is with those, I think we saw last week we covered it was like 21,000 permanent residents have already applied, but none of them can pass the background check. I think it was like 80 out of the whole 21,000. So now they're gonna because it's taking too long, they're gonna let them in. They're gonna let them start doing basic training and then they'll just deal with the security clearance after because it's taking so long. So of course, not another red flag at all. But hey, this is our army after all. Okay, let's go into the good old war in Ukraine. That shit show. Zelensky says build the wall. Ukraine electing a 2,000-kilometer wall fortification on its front lines. People, you got to understand that I'm looking at it this way. They're saying it's the wall of death to stop the Russians from encroaching further and further deeper into Ukrainian territory. I look at this as the new border. Though it does give me hope. If they're erecting a 2,000-kilometer fortification, that's a border. And hopefully that's the beginning of the end. I mean, public support for this war is going down the toilet. The cash is running dry. The GOP is doing a pretty good job to stop more money to going into this endless pit that's causing inflation. And while our people here are suffering, like it's not that I don't feel bad for the people over there that are obviously getting turned into a giant, clouds of meat dust because they're going against the wall of Russians. But I don't want to see any more killing. Furthermore, I don't want this to turn into World War III, where pray to God it doesn't happen, but we get involved or any of the other NATO countries more than we already are. And that's why I don't want to see that. But yeah, I saw this. So I'm kind of taking this as a good news. You're going to build a giant wall. I'm like, it's like the Hindenburg line. You're trying to make a new border. So this is good. All right. And because like my ADD, we like to jump all over the place. We're going to look. I saw this from the New Scientist. It's time for a more subtle view on the ultimate taboo, cannibalism. New archaeological evidence shows that ancient humans ate others surprisingly often, sometimes for compassionate reasons. The finds give us an opportunity to reassess the views on the practice. Clearly, this didn't, this is next level. um, it's funny that this article is kind of going nuts right now with all of the people eating happening in Haiti, which I gotta say is definitely unsettling. I shared that one of the videos that went viral, of like buddies straight up just grabbing a chunk of one guy's thigh and start eating it. I don't think that these are. I think Tim Pool made the comparison that I don't think it's sustenance people eating. I think it's more of like prison rape style people eating. It's like a fear tactic. Um, that being said, they may be at the point where eating people is a viable option to stay alive, but I'm really thinking it's more of a fear tactic. Don't get me wrong. If I was there and I heard that like the group in the next town over is eating people, yeah, I'm getting out of Dodge. I am gone. I am not dealing with. I mean, like that's some zombie voodoo shit. I'm like, not only will they kill you, but then I mean, eating you, I mean, probably take your soul too. I think that's how that works. I'm not 100% sure, but anyway, the world trying to normalize this behavior and saying it's not that bad. Oh no, it is that bad. Let's just get away from the people eating for a little while, and the world can be a better place. All right, other random thing that I found this week on Twitter, which is really the whole point of the show. It's the average show for the average Joe. I just find shit on Twitter I like to talk about. All right, so this is from the Daily Mail. Global cancer phenomenon. It's not just America, the UK, Japan, South Africa, and Australia are among dozens of countries suffering mystery spike of all different kinds of tumors in young people. Global cancer phenomenon. All of a sudden, all these young people are getting cancers. Geez, I wonder why. Could not possibly be anything to do with experimental medication that everyone took over the last 3 years, but 4 years. Oh no, we're almost at 5 years. Damn, time is going by. Yeah. Or someone saying the quiet part out loud. Good stuff. All right, just on a random thing. If you are not subscribed to the Keith Olbermann Twitter page, do it. Do it right now. Stop what you're doing right now. Go to Keith Olbermann's Twitter account and push that sweet follow button. This guy's unhinged Trump derangement rants are literally minutes of fun. They're so often too. It's just like, I mean, you could read it out and you could figure he's just screaming. All right, and with that, we go down to everyone's favorite part of the show. It's the douche of the week. So it's kind of hurt my feelings this week. It looks like the Anti-Hate Network decided to block us. I think it's a badge of honor, actually, as much as I would say my feelings are hurt. To get on their list, I think is the ultimate badge. I mean, like Blonde Bigot, Jeremy McKenzie, the Danger Cats. I think that's why I got blocked, is defending the Danger Cats. But nevertheless, to get the block is one thing, but to get on the list, I mean, that's next level. When the cult grows and we become full blown cult like status, I think we might make that list. But for blocking us, you're terrible human beings. For making a bunch of crap up about some true patriots and half decent people, Canadian Anti-Hate Network, you are Freedom Honey's douche of the week. That's Pedro certified, Mike certified, Beaver County certified. Screw you guys. Okay, now for a little bit of Alberta news. It looks like Naheed Nenshi is actually going to go forward and for the NDP leadership race. Probably going to get it. At this point, between him, Hoffman, and McGowan, he's going to get it. So all the best of luck to Danielle Smith to try and crush him in the next election. He's terrible. He was a terrible mayor, but a lot of people like him for some reason. So definitely something to look out for. All right. What other news happened this week? Here's Pedro eating a cheeseburger, but I asked AI to create a theme song for the cult, a theme song for the Temple of the Holy Pedro, and it came back with the most metalist shit ever. I'm gonna put it in the comments. If anybody feels creative enough to actually sing it or put it to some AI singing generator, I'm like, please do, because this is some next level cool shit. I mean, the first verse alone, I'm not going to sing it, but I'll kind of read it out. In the heart of the shadows where secrets lie, a temple stands tall, reaching for the sky. The walls adorned with cryptic runes, whispers echoes through its hollowed rooms. Holy Pedro, they chant his name, a prophet, a mystic, fueled by the flame. His eyes ablaze with forbidden lore, drawing followers to his sacred door. I mean, the chorus is like Temple of the Holy Pedro, hear the hymn, steel guitar wails as darkness swims, candles flicker, casting eerie light as they surrender to the endless night. Like, that is some cool shit. Anyway, I'm going to put that in the comments. Feel free to be creative with that. And with that, I mean, this is pretty much the end of the show. Thanks again, everybody, for following us and kind of just listening to me rant. This is kind of our chance for me to get to kind of get back, to talk about some of the stuff that I saw this week that pissed me off. Fight Justin Trudeau's censorship, because we talk about, we talked about vax stuff, we talked about censorship, cannibalism. I mean, we're gonna get kicked off YouTube and every other platform, but for now, let's just see how far this crazy train goes. And with that, guys, thank you for everything that you do. Take care. God bless. All hail the Queen Bee, and we're out.
This is why people OD on pills and jump from the Golden Gate Bridge.